welcome to my introductory video about the Rhythm Spirograph, a patch for a VCV rack I created featuring a unique and innovative approach towards phrase sampling and drum programming. Here you see the core sequencing interface, Biset's Regex, and Strum's mental patch matrix, topped off with 8 faces on everything for easy patch switching. And off to the side, you can see the patch controls and the pattern length control next to the Basically module where the array window sequencer lives. I will now go into the sound and mixing configuration here for a moment, but it should be noted that the Rhythm Spirograph, in this iteration anyway, is focused on CV and MIDI processing over sound design. Regardless, the Sickozell samplers I'm using feature some excellent tone compression, and the Mixmaster board is a staple. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've loaded the samplers with a bespoke kit I created. That is to say, they are not breakbeat slices, even if I sequence them like that later on, which is one of the stated purposes of this patch, to achieve the fluidity of breakbeat editing, but in MIDI. I deliberately kept the sound design scaled back in this demo so that the unusual sequencing abilities of it take center stage. You won't be hearing a bunch of reverb and special effects on the drums this time. The kit is dry, and the only effects on it are some wave shaping and compression so that it stays punchy and clear for this video. So, let's set it off. Consider the following our default beat or starting point. It's a 2-measure loop composed of pattern A, kick and snare, and pattern B, hi-hat, playing concurrently in the natural order. In addition, the drum samples are not transposed in any way. Now, let's hear a 140 BPM variation of the same beat where the drums have been pitched up, the beat has been rephrased, and the hi-hats are polyrhythmic. Let's take it a bit further into jungle or breakcore territory with the next, more generative variation. It's worth noticing that even though the tempo is now 165, some of the drums are pitched down. The next beat stems from something that happens a lot when you play with the Rhythm Spirograph for any length of time. You end up with rhythmic variations that become increasingly hard to count with measures and beats because they are created by mathematical expressions and not bound to a grid. The following beat is a non-random, highly generative expansion of our original beat. I've noticed at higher tempos, the sort of mathy variations of the beats are much clearer. This beat goes for minutes without repeating and features advanced clock mashing with Regex, although I'm only using an excerpt here. I'm very excited about sequencing melodic or harmonic material in a similar fashion. The next beat is a funk beat featuring deterministic polyrhythms with random variations throughout. I highly recommend viewing Biset's videos about Regex because it's really doing the heavy lifting here, even if the array window sequencer provides nonlinear access to drum sequences. So, all those variations extended from generative remixing of the same 8 samples and 2 monophonic sequences. The sequences are 2 measures of 16th notes set as arrays in the Basically module. What's unique about the array window sequencer is that it lays out these sequences as beat-sliced 8th notes on the keyboard from C4 to D♯5. In addition, it loops them seamlessly with variable loop length controls that can be useful both for programming and performance. I will illustrate this in another video. Everything you've heard so far is confined to the VCV patch. However, during testing, at one point I dropped some MIDI down from it and then ran the MIDI through Modo drums, a physically modeled drum kit, and then produced the drums as I might for a song. The raw, generative MIDI has no velocity data. However, it has samples that represent accented and unaccented notes, which I was then able to map to velocity using FN42's note mapper. Then I did some groove quantizing, humanization, and mixing in Reaper. The beat you are about to hear is a real-world example of how this patch can be used. I seamed together 2 different sequences I had created and then lightly edited them for continuity. I don't have any footage associated with this beat, but I'll full-screen milk drop because I've been binging on it a bit recently, as evidenced by this video. Think of this as having been more of a demonstration rather than a deep technical dissection of what I'm doing with the rhythm Spirograph. And I intend to make more videos about this patch as well as I develop it. I know there's nothing new under the sun, but I've been trying to edit breakbeats as MIDI in this fashion for a while, and then when I put Regex and the patch bay in the mix, the synergy was incredible, which is why I'm sharing it today. My programming contribution, the code in Basically, is about 200 lines, and there were a lot of firsts involved. That is to say, I'm not a heavily experienced programmer. I don't think of the concept as being terribly complex when explained in programmatic terms, but it takes on a life of its own in this patch when wired through a patch matrix to Regex. There's both a Markov chain and granular aspect to it, but on a micro scale. I can see all sorts of ways where this concept can be extended, but it hasn't prevented me from becoming obsessed with it in the meantime. I'm going to close with the full version of the song you hear in the intro. It's another real-world example. In fact, the drum part is based on the MIDI data from the previous example, just sped up. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.